1 Kings, 1 Samuel, chapter 22. David therefore went from thence, and fled to the cave of Odollam. And when his brethren and all his father's house had heard of it, they went down to him thither. And all that were in distress, and oppressed with debt, and under affliction of mind, gathered themselves unto him, and he became their prince. And there were with him about 400 men. And David departed from thence into Maspah of Moab. And he said to the king of Moab, Let my father and my mother tarry with you, I beseech thee, till I know what God will do for me. And he left them under the eyes of the king of Moab, and they abode with him all the days that David was in the hold. And Gad the prophet said to David, Abide not in the hold, depart, and go into the land of Judah. And David departed, and came into the forest of Heret. And Saul heard that David was seen, and the men that were with him. Now whilst Saul abode in Gibeah, and was in the wood which is by Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him, he said to his servants that stood about him, Hear me now, ye sons of Gemini. Will the son of Isai give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all tribunes and centurions? That all of you have conspired against me, and there is no one to inform me, especially when even my son hath entered into league with the son of Isai? There is not one of you that pitieth my case, nor that giveth me any information, because my son hath raised up my servant against me, plotting against me to this day. And Doeg the Edomite, who stood by, and was the chief among the servants of Saul, answering said, I saw the son of Isai in Nob with Ahimelech the son of Ahitub the priest. And he consulted the Lord for him, and gave him victuals, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Then the king sent to call for Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and they came all of them to the king. And Saul said to Ahimelech, Hear, thou son of Ahitub. He answered, Here I am, my lord. And Saul said to him, Why have you conspired against me, thou and the son of Isai? And thou hast given him bread and a sword, and hast consulted the Lord for him, that he should rise up against me, continuing a traitor to this day. And Ahimelech answering the king said, And who amongst all thy servants is so faithful as David, who is the king's son-in-law, and goeth forth at thy bidding, and is honorable in thy house? Did I begin today to consult the Lord for him? Far be this from me. Let not the king suspect such a thing against his servant, or anyone in all my father's house. For thy servant knew nothing of this matter, either little or great. And the king said, Dying thou shalt die, Ahimelech, thou and all thy father's house. And the king said to the messengers that stood about him, Turn and kill the priests of the Lord, for their hand is with David, because they knew that he was fled, and they told it not to me. And the king's servants would not put forth their hands against the priests of the Lord. And the king said to Doeg, Turn thou, and fall upon the priests. And Doeg the Edomite turned and fell upon the priests, and slew in that day 85 men that wore the linen ephod. And Nob, the city of the priests, he smote with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and sucklings, and ox and ass and sheep with the edge of the sword. But one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, whose name was Abiathar, escaped, and fled to David, and told him that Saul had slain the priests of the Lord. And David said to Abiathar, I knew that day, when Doeg the Edomite was there, that without doubt he would tell Saul, I have been the occasion of the death of all the souls of thy father's house. Abide thou with me, fear not, for he that seeketh my life seeketh thy life also, and with me thou shalt be saved. From PrayLamp, peace be with you.